Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I got a few requests from friends and subscribers to share my most favorite foundations for oily skin with yellow olivey undertones. That's what my skin is. It's quite oily, especially in the T-zone, in the center of my face. Then the last maybe a year or so, it's somehow normal here on the sides of my face. Please don't forget to let me know down in the comments which is your favorite foundation and the shade which you're using if you have this yellow undertone. Oh, and if you want to see some more videos like this a few times per week, don't forget to press the subscribe button and ring the small bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. I'll stop rambling and let's just get into the video. So first and foremost, the thing which completely changed my makeup foundation game, if that makes sense. This is the Pro Foundation Mixer from NYX. This is not a foundation, obviously, it's a mixer. And the one which I'm using is Olive. Now this thing saved me from buying foundations, so many times. So what this is doing is you mix a drop of this or as much as you need, and this changes the color of your foundation without interfering with your foundation consistency, with the performance. It doesn't change the way your foundation blends on your face, lasts on your face, nothing, just the color. Only the color. So they have a white one, they have an orange one, they have a luminous, I think, something which gives your foundation a bit more luminosity. But because we are on the subject for yellow olivey undertones, thanks to this product, I never anymore, buy foundation for summer, then different shade for winter, and etc. It's just a drop of this, or a little bit more, a little bit less, depending from the shade which you're trying to achieve. It's awesome product, really. Then moving on to the first foundation, which is my top favorite for the last maybe 2 years. I just recently realized that I have 4 or 5 empty bottles here in an empties box, and this is the L'Oreal Infallible 24 Hours Fresh Wear Foundation. The shade which I'm using is Golden Beige. I'm not sure if the shade names are the same in the US and in Europe, but this is what I'm using at least. I will swatch the foundations in the end here on my hand so you can see the shades better. This is not exactly olivey undertone, but it's quite yellow, and from the shade range which we have here in our drugstores, this is the best option for yellow undertone skin. This foundation is generally awesome, and weird enough, even people with normal to dry skin, which I know, use this foundation and like it as much as I do on my oily skin. It lasts throughout the day. Of course, most of the foundations which I use, even the one I'll show you in the end, which is the most long wearing one, and it's my most favorite foundation ever when it comes to longevity, none of them can last perfectly well on my skin for more than 6 hours. After 6 hours, I need to touch up my foundation just with a blotting paper, or most of the time I'm using these tissues, the one which I'm just peeling the tissue in half and then I blot my face. To be honest, I stopped believing that I will ever find the foundation which will stay on my face for more than 8 hours without the need of to touch up. So highly recommend this one. If you haven't tried it, try it, you won't regret it. Next thing from the drugstore, which is full coverage. Now this I forgot to mention, the L'Oreal is medium coverage and it's buildable coverage. If you're on the hunt for a full coverage foundation, is this Maybelline foundations. Now this is the 24 hours a full coverage foundation Superstay. The shade which I'm using in this one is 26 Buff Nude. Again, I guess the shade names are different, but you can definitely find yellow undertones in this foundation. Now they came up with a new formula, a bit more like a long wearing something. I can't remember what was the name, but I'm gonna insert a photo here for you. This one is not the most long wearing foundation on my skin, definitely. It's not transfer proof, and it's quite if you use a lot of this, you can feel it on your face. It feels a bit heavy, but it gives you the most flawless finish on the skin when it comes to full coverage. If you struggle with acne marks, some things which you need to cover, or pigmentation or all of that, just this is awesome, I'm telling you. Something though, bear in mind before using this foundation is make sure you prep your skin well, make sure you exfoliate your skin, because as most of the full coverage foundations, I have to say, they tend to sit weird if you have any dry patches on your face, or like places around your nose here where you have these bits of skin flaking off. So make sure you exfoliate, you prep your skin well. And this is an awesome foundation from the drugstore again. The next foundation which I found recently is from the drugstore again, and I'm using it all of the time, to be honest with you. And this is the True Skin foundation from Catrice. The shade which I'm using is 039 Warm Olive. Now this time, surprisingly for Catrice, this Warm Olive shade name matches exactly the undertone of the foundation. This foundation is awesome, to be honest with you. It looks flawless. It's about medium coverage, I have to say. You can build it up to a little bit more, like higher than medium coverage. Again, not full coverage, definitely. It doesn't last like ages on my skin, but I don't have any problems for about 4 hours, 5 hours wearing this foundation. Then I need to like blot the oils on my skin again with a blotting paper, with a tissue. But as I said, this is the story of my life. So, but the joke on the side, I was expecting that this will be sliding off my face in 2 hours. That's not the case whatsoever. Even when it wears off, which is something which I really appreciate, it doesn't wear off in the ugly way. You know, when you get these patches where the foundation is completely gone, it wears off with grace. Now moving on to a CC cream. If you're looking for a CC cream with a like light to medium coverage, actually I have to say that this one is medium coverage. It's affordable again. This is Lumene CC cream, and most of the times I don't opt for BB creams and CC creams because I find that most of them slide off my face in 2 hours, 3 hours max. They don't wear off nicely from my skin. They just look horrible in few hours, especially in my T-zone. But this is like a hero product for me. And again, this is one of these products which I know a few more people with normal skin, normal to dry skin, enjoy using so much. So I really don't understand how it's possible that this looks so nice on my skin for most of the day, and it looks amazing on people with normal skin as well as people with dry skin. And the shade which I'm using summertime is the shade Tan. Now wintertime I can pass by with a medium shade. It looks nice on my skin as well. Unfortunately, I can't swatch the medium shade for you right now because I gave it to my sister. Next thing, a powder foundation, just in case you like powder foundations. I thought I might share this one with you. This is like an oldie but a goodie, and this is the Studio Fix powder foundation from MAC. Mine is in the shade NC30. Now I don't know if you're aware, but with MAC, this is the only company which like the abbreviations for warm undertones. In most like companies, you know, makeup brands and etc., when you see W, it stands for warm. With MAC, it's the other way around. I mean, they have their system for coloring, and this is NC30. It looks quite wash off from the lights, but it's definitely yellow undertone. NC30, NC25 if you are a bit more like light than me. I rarely use this on its own, to be honest with you, because I'm more into like liquid foundations. Just it's I'm a creature of habit. But for example, I use this to touch up my makeup during the day, and it matches my yellow undertones definitely. Two more foundations, and they're high-end foundations. The first one is Dior Backstage, and the shade which I'm using is give me just a second so I don't make a mistake, 3WO. Now this stands for intensity 3, W for warm, and then O for olive. Now I think that currently this is one of the easiest foundation to pick a shade from, because first of all, as I said, the shade range is extensive, huge, and then as long as you are aware of your undertone, it's the easy peasy to go in the shop and pick a color. Now they have 3W just warm without the O for olive undertone. Now the most amazing thing about this foundation is you can go really lightweight with this. You can get like just to even out your skin tone, and then you can build it up to almost a full coverage. Obviously you need to use a lot of product, which will not be the cheapest option. I mean, like a price and then the amount which you need to use. If you're looking for a foundation with medium or more than medium coverage for an everyday use, this might not be the best option for you price-wise. Other than that, it doesn't matter how much you build this foundation up, it won't look cakey on your skin. This foundation looks like your skin but better. It's one of these products which are like one of a kind, if you ask me, because for example, face and body foundation from MAC is amazing. Yes, it looks like skin, like my skin but better, but in few hours it looks shiny on my skin. Probably from all of these foundations, this is the most skin-like foundation on the market I've tried so far. Last but not least, my most favorite foundation, which is high-end when it comes to longevity, and this is Estee Lauder Double Wear. Now I still haven't found, this is how the foundation looks like actually, with this cup. Now I still haven't found anything which lasts the way this foundation lasts on my skin. They have divided their shades again with undertones, which is amazing, so it's easy for you to find your shade. Now this is the foundation which unfortunately I bought 3 shades because that was before I find this product from NYX, the foundation mixer. That's why I bought, I mean, imagine how much I like this foundation. I bought 3 shades for myself. Now winter time, when I'm really pale, just yellow, and to be honest with you, this winter for example, I haven't been so pale like the winters before. The shade which I use is 2W2 Rattan, and this is definitely pale yellow color. Then the shade which matches me most of the time in the year is 3W1, which is Tawny, definitely yellow with slightest bit of olivey undertone in there. So the shade which I'm using when I was really tan, definitely olivey, it's 4N1, which is shell beige. Now this is supposed to be neutral undertones, but on my skin, when I'm really tanned, I can get away with this one. It looks more olivey on my skin than neutral. It doesn't tend to look gray or muddy, you know, like any other neutral shade foundation would look on my skin. So 4N1 is for the times when I'm probably like 3-4 shades darker than the one you see. I've heard many people say that this foundation looks cakey on their skin. It looks makeup-y on the skin. Now what I noticed for this foundation is that the way you apply it matters the most, and I think when you try to like apply a lot of foundation at once, start to build up the foundation, trying to get like a full coverage or something. I mean, Estee Lauder, I believe they were claiming that this foundation is full coverage. For me, this is more like a medium coverage foundation, maybe a little bit more than a medium coverage if you try to build it up. So what I found is that this foundation works best with the makeup sponges. For me, I mean, in my skin, I applied just a few dots on one, like let's say on one side of my face, blend out the foundation immediately. Then I apply some on this side, then blend it out, then on my forehead, and like these parts, like blend out the foundation part by part on my face. As soon as I try to apply the foundation everywhere, while you are trying to blend out one side of your face, the other side on your face, the foundation is already like starting to set, and it's really hard to move it around, and then it starts to look weird, it starts to look cakey, it can get a bit messy. I believe that this is one of the foundations you just need to learn how to apply, and then you're good to go. This foundation lasts on my skin for ages. I will blot, you know, with papers after about 7-8 hours if I need to, you know, wear the foundation longer. Just a bit blotting with paper. I don't need to apply any powder. If your skin is not as oily as mine, the only way to move this foundation from your skin is to remove it with a cleansing balm and all of that, just, you know, otherwise this will stay on your face for like until the next day probably. So guys, these were my top most used currently foundations for oily skin with yellow and olive undertones. I really hope that was helpful, and if it was, please give me thumbs up. It really helps my channel a lot, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!